The Cleopatra, and you just think has to be peaking. Third up after the 12 months off should be Cherry Ripe from the Trent Busselton and Natalie Young stable. Nick, we'll get to you for the market mover.
It's a photo finish, and we'll go with number 10, Captain Envious, 750 into 370, but plenty of money for the two Just Folk as well.
Good stuff. This is the Ballarat Cup over the 2,000 metres, and we're waiting for the last of our contenders to make their way up to the gates. And as we heard there, we've got on top in this next one, Foxy Cleopatra, but certainly consideration for young Werther Just Folk, who bounces through the eclipse last week and is in top form, and we know handles the off-track conditions. There's plenty to assess in the heavy conditions here at Ballarat, and there's lots up for grabs. Matt Smith will be standing by. Matt Hill, apologies, will be standing by to get us through the next at the Ballarat Cup.
Ballarat Cup at 2,000 metres, ready and racing. Just Folk from barrier number one beat them out with On Francais, and Young Werther ridden with aggression. Red Sun Sensation, Regal Power from the deep, and behind them Swords Drawn midfield from Captain Envious. Second last Midnight Blue, and Foxy Cleopatra last at the 1,700 metres. It's On Francais leading the cup field by a length and a quarter. Regal Power and Red Sun Sensation. They were followed by Just Folk, who's going to tuck in next on the inside of Young Werther. 2 lengths to Swords Drawn, Captain Envious, Midnight Blue, and Foxy Cleopatra last at the 1,400 metres. On Francais attempts to slacken it from Regal Power. Red Sun Sensation overreacting, fighting the jockey on the outside of Just Folk. A length Young Werther, a length and a half Captain Envious and Swords Drawn. Then Midnight Blue and Foxy Cleopatra together at the end. 1,200 metres to run. It's On Francais down this lovely long back straight by a length and a quarter. Regal Power. A gap in the field then to Just Folk, the inside of Red Sun Sensation. A length and a quarter Young Werther, who is spotting the leader about 6 lengths. A length and a quarter Captain Envious and Swords Drawn from Midnight Blue, and Foxy Cleopatra last as On Francais just tried to sneak away at midway. 1,000 metres to go to the side, led by 3 lengths On Francais. From Regal Power second, Red Sun Sensation third. A length and a half Young Werther outside of Just Folk, 2 lengths to Swords Drawn. Then came Captain Envious. Midnight Blue's trying to get something going from the back of the field, and Foxy Cleopatra still last as they come to the turn. On Francais, 500 metres to go, is still 3 lengths Red Sun Sensation. Then Regal Power, who's battling a little. Just Folk on the inside, saving ground. Young Werther produced towards the middle of the course, and then came Captain Envious. On Francais at the 250. Just Folk trying to hunt it down with Young Werther, and Captain Envious right down the centre of the course, bumping into Young Werther below the 200. Just Folk up to On Francais, but Captain Envious runs on by. Captain Envious, 2 lengths, 3 lengths coming clear. Captain Envious won the Ballarat Cup from Young Werther, Just Folk and On Francais. A gap Swords Drawn, then Red Sun Sensation, Regal Power, Foxy Cleopatra Never Warm, and Midnight Blue was last.
Captain Envious, Mick D's having a very good day out at the races, picks up another victory and the Ballarat Cup. Captain Envious coming through that Country Cup at Caulfield where was placed, and as they turned in, was held up in a little bit of traffic, but once he got it out wide and into clear running, really worked home and built the revs up the straight.
He looked to be the only horse travelling in behind the on-speed horse. I just thought that it looked as though he was the only one sort of really going through the line, and you can see that he's travelling much better than anything else. On Francais has put up the white flag. You can see there Just Folk just sort of really sharply pushed out on Young Werther, which was definitely going to sort of impede his running to the line, but really he was off and gone. He was a horse that absolutely loved the conditions.
Yeah, absolutely. We're getting to that point now where the conditions are so dire down there in terms of the ground that we're really just looking for horses that are handling it better than anything else. You can really tell how your horse is going as they start to straighten. The ones that get balanced and start ploughing through that ground are the ones that are going to kick on. I thought On Francais was game out in front. I thought it looked the winner at the top of the straight. Probably lacked just that little bit of class, and I thought, Young Werther he's coming back into some old form, so he's not far away either.
Just in that head-on, I wondered if Just Folk was reacting to a clod that came off On Francais and hit him. He sort of darted out wide. Might be able to watch that again, but certainly caused a little bit of interference. If we look at it here, and Just Folk just coming up alongside our leader, On Francais, and when this clot, I didn't quite get him, no. It flew, but it didn't get him.
Sounds like a wife of a jockey, trying to find a nice little excuse for the jockey.